They are Tolkien's Middle English Dictionary.
Whoa.
If you are planning a bookstore crawl, National Independent Bookstore Day is the day to do it. It's held on the last Saturday of April every year. Look up which shops are participating near you, as lots of them will have book signings, special events, readings, prizes, and more. And to make it more fun, why not dress up in some sort of dark academia or literary inspired attire? Seriously though, everyone loved this, especially Sherlock got so much love. Here's our visit to 5 amazing bookstores in Utah on National Indie Bookstore Day. Make sure to stay tuned to the end to see our incredible visit to bucket list worthy bookshop Moon's Rare Books, which has over 2 million followers on TikToks, where we got to meet the man himself.
Hey!
We started at the Book Garden in Bountiful.
Look at the come look at the door. Books.
I love
Bookins.
It's so cute.
Where we picked up our indie bookstore map. You can get a stamp for each as you visit them. Some shops will offer prize drawings for everyone who's gotten a stamp on the main part of the map before next Indie Bookstore Day. We also got our free Indie Bookstore Day sticker there. The Book Garden was my favorite we visited that day for shopability. It was the store that I saw the most things that I wanted to buy and had a hard time deciding what to put back. It has a massive selection of both used and new books, beautiful old books, as well as a good variety of stunning new editions of classics.
Sherlock found Sherlock.
She just needs Watson.
Invisibility cloaks, only $60.
Clearly high quality.
That's a bargain.
High
That's a
quality.
bargain.
Very high.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
You're so excited.
It's pretty.
They had these cute baskets we got to shop with.
Siri, who am I?
I could have stayed so much longer at this store. I loved it.
See, to be clear, this is clean Regency. Okay.
We don't know where the spicy Regency went. It's over here.
Forbidden
Yeah,
Regency.
it's a dark corner. That's we found it.
I chose this beautiful encyclopedia of Tolkien with this faux leather cover and the gilded pages. And it has a few illustrations in there, so I'm excited to dive into that more. Next was the science fiction / fantasy / horror bookstore and RPG cafe called the Legendarium in Salt Lake City. This is the bookstore that actually made me sit down and plan out our book crawl in the first place. I saw a cute video about it on TikTok and had to check it out. If you've ever wanted to visit a shop that was all of your bookshops and bone dust and legends and latte vibes you could ever wish for, this is it. It's very snug. It was full to bursting on Indie Bookstore Day. So many people were there. There's so much fun, nerdy theming, from all of the names of the drinks in their cafe to all of the decals of stained glass, pop culture characters and literary characters, to the bathroom, which encouraged you to boldly go. They even had gluten-free snack options at their cafe, which was a pleasant surprise. And I was able to snag one of the last few pins they were giving out that day for sharing on social media. This shop wins my prize of the day for the most social bookstore. So many people struck up conversations with us, and one of them was even giving us little ducky trinkets.
Someone just had a book conversation with us and gave us little trinkets. They gave us little ducks. We're making friends. Okay.
And the owners were incredibly friendly.
Checking out that Sarah Drew Moss posted about our store.
It's just one of those places where it makes you feel like you belong. Despite the huge rush, they were radiating so much positivity. The store hosts D&D nights and different events.
So it's an oracle deck, but it has instructions like on the inside for an alternative initiative system for like fantasy tabletop games. So you could use it in like D&D. I'm sorry, it's so pretty.
All in all, it was a very cool store, worth the hype. Third in the lineup was one that my classical theater major heart was so excited about, the King's English Bookshop. It's one of those classic neighborhood bookshops with lots of little rooms tucked away to explore in. After all, not all who wander are lost. They have a robust event calendar. In fact, it is because of their event calendar that I even knew National Indie Bookstore Day was a thing and that it was happening near to when I happened to be planning out a book crawl.
It's based in Wales. I have to.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm considering Coriolanus.
Oh, I've heard good things.
Kirsten is telling me of its virtues.
I was in it once.
Okay.
So I have a special place in my heart.
Okay, this is one book that I was considering at a different store, but the line was kind of long, so I decided not to get it there. And I was so lucky because at the King's English, I found a single signed copy there. So this is The Secret Lives of Booksellers and Librarians, True Stories of the Magic of Reading. It just caught my eye. I'm not super sure what to expect from it yet, but I'm excited to get into it. I also got this amazing pin for free with my purchase there, and it was immediately added to my ensemble that day. At the King's English, we met local authors. There was a book reading going on in the children's section, and while it had already been found early that morning, they were hosting a golden ticket hunt, and whoever found the golden ticket would get a year's worth of free audiobooks from Libro. And finally, they had St. Rita's Traveling Bookstore and Textual Apothecary visiting out front. This is a traveling bookstore, as is titled. It's in a van and it's full of used books, curated by the owner.
Romeo and Juliet!
So many books. Mocktails.
Mocktails.
And whoop, A Fate Inked in Blood.
I got a 5-year journal.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I got The Drowned Woods.
After a lunch break, we were very excited to visit Moon's Rare Books,
It's a surprise.
but that's the finale of this video, so we're gonna skip that for now.
Can I open them?
No, not yet.
Our fifth store was Poppy Books. This store was holding the same golden ticket hunt as the other one, and of course it had also already been found. We were there towards the end of the day, towards closing. The front room has a beautiful paint job. I love the colors in there. I would say this store had some of the best decor, maybe not as good as Moon's, and a little nook for classics.
Painted cup. Oh my my.
A Holmes and Watson style detective duo takes the stage in a fantasy and mystery twist from the Edgar winning, multiple Hugo nominated Robert Jackson Bennett.
They had lots of journals and stationery. My favorite thing about this store was all of the little details to find, little doors to open and little scenes to look at. And they also had my favorite children's section. It just had a lot of books and it looked really cute.
Lady Gaga is a golden book. And that's gonna be so cute. Eat it. Eat it.
Okay, it is time.
Now.
Moon's Rare Books is known as a museum disguised as a bookstore. In displays throughout the store, you can find not only stunning new editions of the classics, but behind glass displays, you can also view many first editions and or author-signed editions of books such as Anne of Green Gables, The Hobbit, Dr. Seuss, and many, many more. About half of what you see in the front area of the store is for sale, while the other half is part of a permanent collection. This store is full of artifacts, like a candlestick holder from Jane Austen's home, Charles Dickens' writing desk, and not just artifacts from books, but also from films. You can see Lucy's original dress from the Narnia film, the reaping bowl from Hunger Games, Katniss's shirt from the Hunger Games, the Beast's coat from the live-action Beauty and the Beast. This store has the most amazing theming with this alley. Each of those little facades, each of those little areas are a different themed room of books, like a history and royalty room, children's books, the Bible room, church history, and the film room. Even the brick cobblestone street you walk on throughout the store are bricks from France that are 200 years old, from the time of Marie Antoinette and Napoleon. But the most rare and astonishing items are held in safes in the back room, and the only way to see them is either to follow Mr. Moon on social media, where he features them there, or to join the mailing list and go to one of his private show and tells, or to book a show and tell for you and your group. And all of the proceeds from these show and tells go to feed children in Peru, Colombia, and Venezuela. 16 of us gathered and entered the inner sanctum of Moon's rare books, where Mr. Moon showed us artifacts and treasures, many of which are worthy of some of the great museums of the world. A cuneiform tablet, a first edition of the Sorcerer's Stone signed by 11-year-old Daniel Radcliffe, Queen Elizabeth's Bible.
Elizabeth Boleyn.
Oh, it's stunning.
1589 New Testament.
And a King James Bible, but not just anyone, one owned by King James himself, as well as his book on demonology. A law register of Alexander Hamilton's
Manuscripts. It's a ledger. You go, boring. Well, it's a law ledger. And it's from 1795 to 1804 when he's tragically killed in a duel. This is Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander Hamilton.
So that's his handwriting?
Yeah. This is
My gosh!
Alexander Hamilton's law ledger.
With his signature inside of it. The pipe of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
But you're going to get your picture taken.
Smile very big. Doesn't even have to try.
And my personal favorite, an original second folio, which means the second time it was ever printed, of Shakespeare's works.
That I have is quite possibly the finest surviving folio of all folios, because I've seen most of them. And they're worn, they're used. This one, somebody bought it, and it's like they lived at Downton Abbey and put it on the top shelf and didn't touch it for 400 years. Now this is the protected case. That is the second folio.
I know. I'm like, this is the part where I try not to cry.
I'm very thoughtful about that.
But wait till you see the inside.
We're waiting.
Books always get torn, the title pages are up. This is a flawless title page.
As he continued to delight and astonish us with his amazing collection, I joked and asked if he had a hidden bookcase that led to a catacombs. Mr. Moon did not disappoint and proceeded to open a secret bookcase.
There was a secret room. There was a secret room.
You could have been murdered, right?
I'll take it.
You will haunt this room gladly.
As to the catacombs,
All right, then, keep your secrets.
he told us to ask about any author or book or piece of history, and he'd probably have something on it. And he did everything we asked about. Something from Poe, from Beethoven.
It is the first time it is ever printed. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
The original shooting script from Star Wars.
That belonged to Roger Christian, who won the Academy Award. He's the guy who made the lightsabers and everything.
Yeah.
He's doodling the X-Wing right there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The Lord of the Rings films are a huge inspiration in my life, so one of my favorite things was just a clapper from set. He also did all of this presentation with such excellent storytelling.
This is GPS. This is the original GPS. Because to know where you are, you have to know when you are.
Sometimes about how he acquired the pieces, and sometimes about the authors or the release of the books.
This would have taken about 5 years to do by hand.
He had a full set of first edition Jane Austen books. He brought the history of these items alive.
And we know exactly where this is. This is in book 9. This is Jean Valjean. And that's his crappy writing.
It's not words.
But once you know, you can kind of follow. And he always used a very broad tip.
And I was surprised by how visceral it felt to be in the room with these items without glass between us. It took me off guard. Chills when he brought out Malleus Maleficarum.
This is the 1,000-page witch hunting guide.
We saw Schindler's wristwatch.
He hasn't worn this since the 1950s. There it is. It's going. It's an omega.
Common Sense by Thomas Paine, Tolkien's own Middle English dictionary. I wasn't allowed to film anything from the second vault, and I really wish I would have thought to turn the camera around on us and our reaction because it was pretty dramatic. This one was full of really amazing movie props, including Darth Vader's and Luke's lightsabers from the original trilogy, lots of Marvel props, so many amazing things. At the end, he even let us choose an item to take a picture with, not from the second vault. No, I did not get to hold the lightsabers. I did get to hold that second folio of Shakespeare.
I already teared up when I was out before.
But if you kind of go like that, you'll be able to see
Yeah.
the title.
That's legit. Is that Shakespeare?
Yeah,
Yes,
amazing.
This is the second folio. So, Mr. G up in heaven. My theater teacher. And my dad.
Birthday too.
He was also, he taught Shakespeare.
Okay, we'll do one.
It made me ponder on the impact of stories. I always love coming back to an impactful film or book at a different phase in my life, seeing how it hits differently after a decade or two has passed, remembering who I was last time I read or watched it. I just read Bruce Coville's children version of A Midsummer Night's Dream to my daughter. Stories are both a tradition passed on from generation to generation with those we love most, and also common ground to be found between strangers. It's amazing to me that sometimes these bucket list experiences, these people to connect with, these days and adventures that enrich the artist and the adventurer's heart don't always have to be a plane ride away or at exorbitant expense. Now, I'm lucky to be close to this particular adventure, but I know that there's many I'm not close to that other people are. I guess my point is, if you look closely through the shelves and explore, treasures are waiting to be discovered all around you in the bookshop of life. And if that's too corny, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. Until next time, keep creating and stay ever adventurous. Bye.
Dr. Frankenstein's monster in this edition. Most people don't remember that it's Frankenstein is Dr. Frankenstein. And now it's just synonymous with the monster, but since you asked...
Oh, this
me
group
first,
knows.
That is the first time we see Dr. Frankenstein's monster. In 1831.
That's so cool. Let's have a great time.